Hi, this is author LDM Morris. I wrote the book Everyone Wants to Be in the Band. It's sold on Amazon Kindle, and it's about a fictional tale of a rock and roll band in the 1970s. Love, sex, and betrayal, and a fun ride.
Who better than Derek, Pat, Andrew, the wrestling crew? Man, they bout to put an end to y'all careers like a finishing move. They bout to give y'all facts on these cats that's fighting on these mats. Y'all can't see them like John Cena. Even if y'all had 20/20 vision, y'all better listen, pay attention, and take notes down, and realize that it's not your time now. And watch these three kings take the crown. Hey, hey.
This is Nick Destiny, just recording an episode on Wrestling IQ 101, and I am the owner of the Greek Isle Cafe in Mount Carmel, Pennsylvania. Come out and have some Greek food and Greek gyros.
Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of WIQ 101. I'm Andrew, and today I'm joined by Sunny, the California girl. How you doing?
Hi, everybody. How are you doing?
Good. So I thought I could start off with a knock-knock joke.
Oh my gosh, right? I think one of my historic ones is knock knock.
Who's there?
Gee, I forgot. No.
Tanks?
That was the 8 concussions that
Oh.
I've been dealt with in wrestling. But no, knock knock.
Who's there?
Tanks.
Tanks who?
Tanks for the memories. All of you fans out there for remembering Glow and keeping us going for now going 32 years, actually.
Well, congratulations.
Which is pretty darn amazing.
Absolutely. Were you kind of surprised about the resurgence of Glow after the documentary, the Netflix series?
Not really, because here's the thing. Like I said, the Glow fans have been out there since we went off the air in, let's say, 1992, which was the pay-per-views. We weren't aware of how many fans were out there until social media surged and the YouTube, where our videos, surfaced here and there. Some of the TV footage started popping up, and Ursula, who owns Glow, started, putting out Glow stuff. And we just, popped on social media, and there you go. And we noticed, like, oh, my gosh, all these fans. I mean, we've had kids that are, like, 20 years old know Glow now, and that's because of YouTube.
Yeah.
And then when the documentary was made and they were watching that, of course, they realized, wow, we're back. Reuniting and coming back together. And now we have Afterglow, which is Afterglow, our fan party, which now is Fan Party Cruises. So we started on land, and that was in 2014 of October, and we realized, wow, this is awesome. So then we moved to cruises. And I'm sure you saw that on social media, the Afterglow Fan Party Cruise.
Yeah, and it's leaving out of New York this year, right?
Yes, this is our third one, and it's been awesome.
Do you have a part in putting that together, or is that just Roxy?
No, it was kind of both of ours. She had stayed over a little longer. I took off that day, and she talked to one of the cruise directors that happened to be at the RuPaul Comic-Con, where we were all at. And she calls me, and she's like, "You're not going to believe it. What do you think if I do a cruise and get us on the cruise?" I just talked to him. He wants us Glow Girls on the cruise. And I'm like, what? Because I was driving back to Arizona. And I said, yeah, let's do it. Sounds good. So primarily from that point, it's evolved from the cruise ships. The Afterglow Fan Party Roxy had put together, which was on land. She did a great job. And now, we're Afterglow, we're Glow, and we're Glow Netflix.
Yeah. So,
which is not directly us, of course. It's a fictional story based on us. Otherwise, they'd have to pay each and every one of us girls.
Yeah. Well,
they don't want to do that.
Yeah. You actually got to hang out with Awesome Kong. WWE fans might know her as Karma. Can you talk about that relationship that you have with her?
She's great. She's one of the best, I think, out of all of them. We met some of the girls at WWE backstage.
Yeah.
Recently, too. Some of the actresses. She's the only one that was a pro wrestler. That's why we give her much respect. And she's actresses that are playing, I would say, I wouldn't say portraying, but yeah, portraying some of us girls. There's a combination of 3 characters in one on the Glow Netflix. So I would say they did a great job. But we met Allison Brie and the girl, let's see, Debbie, who plays Debbie, Betty Gilpin, and it was awesome. And most of those girls were like, oh, my God, it's you. It's the real Glow Girls. They found out. Yeah. And we also found out to them, you know, because they're playing us. So we're like, whoa. We didn't know that we were going to be meeting them backstage, and they didn't know they were going to see us.
Oh, that's hilarious. When we had Roxy,
really
I'm sorry.
Cool.
I have to cut you off. That's amazing. But Roxy, she said, we asked her, you know, if you had one more match, she wanted to wrestle Brie, Allison Brie.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, do you have a dream opponent if you had to get in the ring one more time?
If I had to get in the ring one more time, I'd probably, I'd want to wrestle the other Sunny.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. Oh, that's cool. I mean, were you upset when she took the moniker of Sunny?
No.
No?
No, because she was 90s and she's just Sunny.
Okay.
See, my whole title was a representation of California.
Okay.
Sunny, the California girl. So I took over the California doll originally.
Yes.
So, yeah, no, I never... The only thing I was disappointed is that where she went and what direction. You know, she kind of turned really ugly there towards the end. Yeah. So now she's, you know, trying to come back, and she still sounds pretty ugly because I've seen some of her remarks. She's cutting down all the female wrestlers.
Really? I didn't know she was doing that.
Yeah, she put something on Twitter and says that oh my gosh, Bailey's ugly.
Oh, really?
Body shaming them.
Actually, I just ran into her a couple months ago. She was very polite and nice, so I'm really surprised that she would do that. It's kind of messed up.
It's on Twitter, and I had said something, and one of my fans says, you know, Sonny, meaning me, I love you to death, but why did you like what she said? And I said, I did that for a reason, and I shared it and put it out there so people can say see what she's saying. Yeah, it was really sad.
Well, I mean, that's cool that you were an advocate for that, ending that type of behavior for all women, and not just that. I mean, maybe some men.
Well, you know what I said to her? I said, I hope she gets in the ring with Nia Jax. That's my girl.
Oh, you're Nia Jax. Oh, that's cool. Nia Jax. That's awesome.
I love Nia Jax, and of course Natalia. She's my number one.
Oh yeah, Natty. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Were you excited to see the women come back for the Raw anniversary, like Kelly and Tori Wilson?
Absolutely. And my friend Trish Stratus.
Oh, Trish. That was my, I cannot lie, she was my crush growing up.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she's sweet. She's
That's
just
amazing.
a doll.
So, Sonny, talk about, I saw a clip of you wrestling Hollywood, and it was like in a house and stuff like that. How's the transition from wrestling in a ring to around like a household element?
Wow. Let's see. I was wrestling her. I don't think I've ever wrestled Hollywood in the house.
Oh.
But in the ring, yeah. I don't know what that was, but...
oh, yeah, it looked like it was, like, because she does, like, videos, right? For she shoots wrestling?
She does, yeah. I don't know how the last time I wrestled Hollywood was, I think it was in 2012, and it was in the ring.
Oh, it was in the ring, okay.
And it was at, that was a wrestling ring.
Okay. And
I was wearing a uniform that was her uniform. That was too tight, and I didn't have tights on. It was because I'm 5'10", and I think she's 5'7". So to get my body in her bodysuit just didn't. Yeah, it was kind of interesting.
Oh wow!
I'm like, oh boy.
So we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about this. Unfortunately, we had the passing of Mount Fuji. What does she mean to you?
Mount Fiji.
Fiji. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Emily Dole. I love her to death, and it's really a shame that she passed. She was in the convalescent for quite some years, though, with really bad health, different ailments. And we were hoping that she would pull through and get her health back in order, lose weight, and unfortunately it didn't happen. Yeah. So we'd like to say she's in a happier place now, and she's definitely out of pain, and now she's probably up there, body slamming Big Bad Mama.
Yeah, because when at the end of the documentary, she came into the convention, and even I started to tear up. When she reunited with all the girls, that was such a touching memory for everybody, I'm sure.
Oh yes,
so
absolutely. And at that documentary, I was on my way out. My story, because everyone asked, they're like, "Sonny, how come you weren't there?" And I said, "Well, because I was heading out with my surfboard. I was so excited to see the girls after 28 years. I get the phone call, to go to this reunion. That same night I was heading out, I get a phone call that my daughter was in a tragic car accident, and she was in the trauma unit. So I didn't make it to the documentary. I went to Cedars-Sinai Hospital to be by my daughter's bedside. So, everyone who wants to know, that's why I wasn't in that.
Well, I'm sorry. I hope.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it was pretty tragic, but she's good and she's alive, and I love my daughter, and you'll see all the pictures of us together. We're real close. But yeah, so that's one of the reasons why I didn't make it out.
Well, that's great to hear that she's okay, and so even you and Roxy, I saw you guys had other memories with her by her bedside. Yeah, like that she's been sharing on her Facebook, and you've been sharing. You must hold those memories also pretty dearly. Other than the ones that you grew up with her during the Glow years.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Because Mount Fiji and I were close because we were always in pictures because she was just a little bit taller than I was.
Okay.
I think Mount Fiji was like 6. Well, she seemed like she was not as tall, but I think she was like 6'3". So she's quite a bit taller, but though we were always in the back row together, and you'll see in all our group pictures, it's her and I. And it was her and I in wraps. We were always that way. We were close. We went last year, Roxy and I, to go visit her in the convalescent home. I went by and picked up Roxy, and we got her cute little dog. We brought her little doggy in to cheer up, the people there in the convalescent home, and Mountain Fiji really loved little Pixie. She really got a kick out of it. And little Pixie was in this cute little bikini, and Pixie's Roxy's little Pomeranian, which she had lost not too long ago. But anyway, we had a blast down there. And the thing was with Mountain Fiji, she goes, "Sonny, can you stop and get me a hamburger and soda?" And, now Mountain Fiji's a diabetic. She's not supposed to be eating crap. But when you're in there, you don't get to eat the good stuff. And I'm like, look at Roxy. I go, should I go through the drive-thru? I feel bad. I don't know about bringing this in. But she's like, come on, Sonny, and a chocolate shake. So Roxy's like, yeah, let's do it. And I'm like, okay. So we brought her on all this, and she was so happy. Oh, my gosh. The memories of Mount Fiji.
That's awesome.
And I know she's up there. She's rolling, like I said. She's up there in the ring in heaven. And with Big Bad Mama, Aunt Kitty, and others that we have lost in Glow.
Yeah, and that's a positive way of looking at things. And so, Sonny, how did you become a Glow girl?
Ironically, I was a tomboy, and I was an athlete. I was in sports more than, let's say when I was a little girl playing with Barbies. I was out skateboarding and basketball and those type of things. And I was a track runner. I would do the relay races. I ended up competing against the boys and then men because I would outbeat the women in running. So, my dad was friends with a lot of the wrestlers like Freddie Blassie and the Destroyer when I was little.
That's
so
awesome.
we would go to the Olympic Auditorium in downtown Los Angeles, and it was myself, my mom, and my brother, and watch the matches back then. And this was in I want to say, let's say I was 5 years old, probably early 70s. And we watched the matches. And I grew up with this, and the roller derby and everything. So one day, I was at home at my parents', and I was, in showbiz a little bit, dabbling in commercials, modeling swimwear, because I was a model. I started modeling when I was 13. And my dad's watching Glow on television. I didn't know it was Glow, but he calls me out of my room, and it was on a Saturday afternoon, and he calls me and says, come out and watch this, honey. Sit down with me. And I'm like, okay. And I see all these women, different sizes, shapes, backgrounds, everything. And they're in costume there in character. I'm like, what? This is crazy. And I really enjoyed it. So I'm watching it, and at the end of it, they were auditioning. They ran a thing on the TV for auditions, and my dad looks at me and goes, you should do this. You could do this. And I'm like, Dad, are you crazy? They're going to kill me. You know, I can't wrestle.
Yeah.
You know, but anyway, I sent in my headshot, did what my dad wanted me to do, and sure enough, I get called in. And I auditioned, and next thing you know, you've got to go through training. It's not that easy, obviously. There was probably 300 women from all over the world at that audition in North Hollywood.
So who ended up training you?
Is there what?
Who ended up training you?
That was Anushka
Really?
and Debbie Debutante, who was, you know, the cheerleader.
Yeah.
And Anushka, which was Lori Palmer. They trained us, and yeah, they were our trainers. Mondo did the first and second season.
Yeah.
Mondo Guerrero.
And legend.
And let's see, third and fourth was Lori Palmer, Debbie Debutante, and also Benny Diamond, who was a referee. He'd get in there and show us a few things. But, yeah, we went through, like, military training, 6 weeks of military training, how to do military-style push-ups, you know, hyperextensions off the wrestling ring, you know, running through tires, running every morning, eating the right food. I had to bulk up because they wanted me to be a certain weight, so I had to eat pastas at the Riviera Hotel. You know, every day I had to get fatter and go in the gym and lift weights.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, we had a strict curriculum, and then from there, after you pass that you're not guaranteed that you're in. What they do is they analyze you, and if they can make a character of who you are, they watch your personality and the way you are. If they can give you a character, then hey, it works, you're in. If the director says, yeah, this sure reminds me of Sunny, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't have to change too much myself. A lot of the girls had to mold into their character. They had to, you know, like Beastie, she had long blonde hair. They made her cut off all that hair to a mohawk. You know, some extreme changes, in other words. But myself, I was a tan, blonde beach girl when I showed up to audition.
Okay.
So, yeah, it wasn't too far off the beaten path for me, other than singing the knock-knock jokes to piss off my opponent.
Yeah. Was that your idea to come up with the knock-knock jokes?
No, that's the writer.
Okay.
We didn't have a say-so pretty much in anything.
Really?
Our characters were designed by our costume, our wardrobe people.
Okay.
Kind of like WWE, except we had one, and that's what we wore. You seldom see us have different changes.
Okay.
Like, you know, the WWE girls do. But, yeah, but it was cool. And I had to get my hair bleached. That was the hard part. I had to tan just like Hulk Hogan, my male counterpart.
Oh, yeah.
He tanned an hour, I tanned a half hour.
Okay.
And we compared notes one day. And it
Really?
was pretty interesting, almost the same thing. Uh-huh. Yeah. Other than he hit on me back then, and I didn't know he was married.
Oh,
we
man.
used to train at Eiferman's in Las Vegas. So,
Oh, that's pretty cool.
yeah,
you know?
Terry's pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. Hulk Hogan's, he's still one of my all-time favorites, and that's awesome that you got to actually compare notes with him.
Yeah. Well, everyone was calling me the female. They're like, female Hulk Hogan, are you his wife? And I'm like, I know it kind of seems that way, right? We have the same colors, the same everything. Same gimmick, other than, I came out with a surfboard, Spuds McKenzie.
Yeah.
My breakaway surfboard, which I don't think he did, but, he was the surfer out of all of them.
That is incredible. So, what was your favorite match that you had during Glow?
I don't know about favorite, because I really enjoyed all my matches. Okay. Except for one with Habana, which she got fired after that match when we really got into it. She really thought she was Habana.
Well, that's not good.
My favorite match, I'd have to say, was with, it's a toss-up with BC and Big Bad Mama. Really? It's when she put me in the trance and she came out with my Barbie doll, and she put that voodoo dust on me, and I had to do everything that my Barbie doll that she held on to in her hand did. So when she took my Barbie doll and flipped my Barbie doll in midair, that means I had to flip in midair. That was the hardest match, but it was the most fun, and it was, It was really cool. And then, of course, Beastie when she bit my ear off. And the audience thought that she really bit my ear off. She's holding a plastic ear.
Yeah.
I came out with bandages wrapped up, slapped up against the side so they couldn't tell that my ear was still on, but it was all bloody. It was a great match.
Wow, that's incredible.
That was one of my favorites.
So, Sonny, what kind of, did the doors open for you after Glow to do anything else, in Hollywood or modeling?
Yeah, I mean, I went on after Glow, which Glow kind of really didn't. How do I say this? I was, I would say after Glow because I was in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I had doors open in modeling in the sports world.
Okay. NFL,
I think
right?
these people really, they weren't sure. They remember Glow, the guy that I modeled the NFL sports calendars and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My Playboy issue had no relevance to Glow.
Okay.
They didn't care if I was a Glow girl or not. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, pretty much everything else I did, I think, was just on my own.
Oh, that's pretty
as
cool.
Patricia Summerlin, because I had that backing before Glow. Glow was a nice thing to have, in the wrestling world.
Mm-hmm.
It will always be a great thing and a great memory. It's part of my. And I'm pretty fortunate to have that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. I got a call in, so it'll beep.
Yeah.
But I think it's the women's empowerment and the movement against bullying and women's equality. I think Glow is one of the best stepping stones in that way.
Yeah.
And I think things that I've been through throughout my life, which I'm coming out with the book and the movie and all that kind of stuff, so you'll understand that after Glow there was so much more for me. So I was fortunate in that way, and I think Glow at times sort of, I don't want to say hinder, but they say, oh yeah, well you're just a wrestler. What else do you you don't know anything else.
Yeah.
That type of thing. But in the world of wrestling, absolutely, because the Cauliflower Alley Club, I got all of us girls honored, this past year, and now we have a plaque. I have 2 plaques sitting on my wall here, stating that we won the Women's Wrestling Award.
Okay.
So we were honored at the Cauliflower Alley Club, the CAC.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So I had, I think, 22 girls that attended, and I worked my butt off for 7 months to make that happen. So we actually, were honored, and now we're going to go into the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. So, those are all they're great things.
Yeah, and you touched on empowering women and stuff like that, and that's absolutely correct. I mean, what an amazing time to live through. I mean, the world is changing, and girl power is everywhere. So, I mean, that's great that you can be an advocate for helping that. So,
absolutely. And I myself have went through, events in my past in showbiz, being very naive and some horrible things that were also on television because it made television. It turned out it was that big. And, I went to speak about it as a public speaker, what to look out for, pitfalls in showbiz, your very own manager or agent, because I was attacked by my own manager, and
I'm sorry.
It was attempted rape and murder, actually, so it was pretty big back. And it ended in 1990, just before 1991. He was captured in 1998, though. He was 10 America's Most Wanted. So as my life unraveled, it's much more interesting after Glow, as we say.
Yeah, that's horrific, and I'm sorry that happened to you.
Yes, thank you.
But I mean,
I lived to speak it, and and you know what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Absolutely.
So again, that's I'm a woman, hear me roar, and I think it's made waves now with what's currently on. Every time you watch TV, of course, it's something. Hopefully, not any more male stars coming out with sexual harassment. There's enough.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good it came out, and it's came out full circle now.
Yeah.
Where they can't hide,
Yeah, and it's also amazing, too, to get back to the WWE, they're going to have the Women's Royal Rumble. They're making great strides in wrestling and other sports for women. So, it's kind of cool And and hopefully you're right. There is no more male movie stars or TV stars coming out with these allegations. But yeah, I think that's awesome.
And that the roles get more powerful, and the wages come up for women more in this world. And
even the women's marches, they're really impacting the way people look at the world now. So
yes, absolutely. And it just shows that women can do, it goes back that women can do what men can do, yes. Yeah. But there's certain things that, I still believe a woman has to be feminine, and there's certain things that I wouldn't do. Mm-hmm. I mean, just because I'm a wrestler doesn't mean I'm going to go stand on the front line and, no. Uh-huh. I don't believe in that. I think women should, because they have children, they should be, good mothers and providers. Because just think if you lose a husband, and then the woman goes and fights, you lose the mother.
Yeah, you lose
both. The child loses the mother and father. I mean, it's a catch-22. It's you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah.
So you have your own podcast where you talk about wrestling and politics.
Oh yes, it's called American Adversaries.
Where can people find that?
That you can find, well, if you're in Florida, you just turn it on Sirius Radio.
Okay. It's
on there right now. It's 105.5 FM and 106 AM, I think it is, or I get it backwards, 106 FM and 105 AM. And they can go to, on their phone and download. You can go to American Adversaries or it's 660 Talk World, like the world, but without the D. So you can download that right on your phone and listen to it from wherever you're at in the world.
Did you ever think that wrestling and politics would ever come together for you?
It is.
I mean, for you, like, to talk about, and get your points across?
Yeah, I mean, I was fortunate these guys reached out to me and asked me to do this 7 years ago. So I've been doing this along with Brian Blair from the Killer Bees.
Yeah, wow.
He has his... Yeah, we have many wrestling guests on there, but he has his segment on Friday, and I have my segment on Sunday at 4 p.m., and that's California time. And I'm on with the three great, Christopher Hart, it was Nostradamus. He's moved on to CBS. Mm-hmm. I have Aubrey Kahn and Kathy Santos Mateo, or Matina, I think, and they're great. And Jeff Cenas is on board. It's a 3-hour tour of talk radio. I handle all the breaking news here, politics, of course, and Trump is usually number one. These guys are Trump supporters, so, I wasn't when I first came on. By the way, I voted for Hillary, so they slammed me. I had to be like Megyn Kelly. I'm like, what did I just do? But it's fun, and I love those guys. They're great. I love doing it.
Well, that's awesome that you get to have your own little outlet, too. So that's awesome that you can continue to entertain people. So,
yes.
Sonny, before we let you go, where can people get you on social media if they want to connect with you?
Well, I'm kind of everywhere. I do have a fan page, Sunny, the California Girl fan page on Facebook. I like to interact with my fans, so I interact with them under Patricia Summerland because I seem to I can't get over to that page. I've got Instagram that I'm working. I've got Twitter. I'm on and off. Twitter kind of bugs, but I'm on Twitter, Sunny Glow or Glow Sunny. You just put me in, or Google. You know what I say? Google me. It's the easiest.
Okay.
Because I have all those formats, and then I have Stage 32. I have LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn. I actually like LinkedIn.
Okay.
So you can find me at Patricia Summerlin there as well.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out to talk to me and the Wrestling IQ 101 fans. And for us, we're Wrestling IQ 101. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Wrestling IQ 101. And make sure you hit that subscribe button and check out this video and all our past interviews. Thank you, guys.
You have just listened to the Wrestling IQ 101 podcast, powered by B Plus Player Radio.